Hi, in this video I'll help you get to know your car a little better. At the end of this video I've put together a straightforward infographic that summarizes all the key points. Like, subscribe and comment below. It really helps.
All right, so you're a Chevy owner, you've got this U1301 error code staring you in the face, and you're probably thinking, what on earth is that? It's one of those cryptic codes that can be super frustrating. Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what that message means and, more importantly, what you can actually do about it.
So, that dreaded check engine light pops on. You grab your scanner, you plug it in, and bam, U1301. It can feel like you've just hit a brick wall, but trust me, you haven't. We're about to demystify this thing and give you a clear path forward.
Okay, first things first. What is code U1301 really? Before we can even dream of fixing it, we've got to understand what our car is trying to tell us.
At its heart, U1301 is all about a breakdown in communication. You got to think of this Class 2 data link as your car's own private internet, or its information highway. It's how all the different computers, for the engine, the transmission, the brakes, are all constantly chattering with each other, sharing critical data. This code means there's a major traffic jam on that highway.
Now this is where it gets really specific. The code pops up when the car's brain notices two things at the exact same time. One, it's hearing complete silence from the other computers. And two, it's seeing a weirdly high voltage on the line. It's kind of like the phone line is buzzing really loud, but nobody's talking on the other end. Super weird, right?
And get this, how long does that silence have to last to be considered a prolonged? You might think a while, right? Nope, just about 3 seconds. That's it. A 3-second gap in communication is all it takes for the system to throw up its hands and say, okay, something is seriously wrong here, and log that fault code.
So we know U1301 means there's a communication breakdown, but what's causing all that static on the line? Well, it usually boils down to one of 4 common culprits that we can actually track down.
Let's stick with that nervous system analogy because it's a really good one. If the data link is the car's nervous system, carrying all those vital signals, then a U1301 code is a big deal. It means a nerve impulse just isn't getting where it needs to go. The connection is either totally broken or it's getting scrambled by some kind of interference.
So here are our 4 main suspects. First, could it be a problem with the electrical voltage on the line itself? Or, and this happens, could your own diagnostic scan tool be causing the issue when you plug it in? Third, are the messages just not being sent because a computer module has gone completely offline? Or 4, is there a physical short in the wiring somewhere creating total chaos?
Knowing the potential causes is half the battle, for sure. But now let's get to the good part, the solutions. We're going to match a specific fix to each of those problems. This is where we turn knowing into doing.
Okay, this table right here, this is your game plan. It's pretty straightforward. If the voltage is off, you got to grab a multimeter, test that line and figure out why. If your scan tool seems to be the trigger, hey, don't blame the car just yet. Double check the tool's settings first. If you're not getting any valid messages, you need to play detective and figure out which computer module has gone silent. And finally, if it's a short, well, that means it's time to get your hands dirty and start physically inspecting those wires and connections.
And hey, a quick heads up for all you Duramax owners out there. If you see U1301 on your truck, there is a very high probability it's pointing to one specific thing, a short circuit that's blasting full battery voltage right onto a data wire. You'll often find it where the wiring harness rubs against something, maybe near the firewall or the fuse block.
Now let's zoom out a little bit. This one code, U1301, is just one piece of a much larger diagnostic language that your car uses to talk to you. Understanding how this system works is going to help you with any problem, not just this one.
We keep throwing around the term DTC. All that stands for is Diagnostic Trouble Code. These are just the standardized codes that your car uses to tell a mechanic not just that something's wrong, but what is wrong and where it's located. They're incredibly specific.
The best way to think about it is this. The check engine light is your car just shouting, "Hey, something's wrong over here." A DTC, on the other hand, is the detailed report. It's your car saying, "Okay, here's the deal. There's a communication failure on the Class 2 data link." See the difference? One's a general alarm, the other is a precise diagnosis.
But what about problems that kind of come and go? You know, those little hiccups? That's where pending codes come into play. When your car's computer sees a fault that happens just once, it doesn't immediately freak out. Instead, it logs a pending code and basically says, that was weird. I'm going to keep an eye on that.
So here's how that keeping an eye on it thing works. After a random glitch happens, the computer waits for 2 straight warm-up cycles, basically 2 drives where the engine gets up to temp. If that same glitch happens again during that time, the pending code gets promoted to an official DTC and your check engine light comes on. But if the problem just vanishes and doesn't come back for, say, 40 drives, the computer just shrugs, deletes the code, and forgets it ever happened.
So, after all of that, what are the most important things you need to walk away with when you're facing down a U1301 code? Let's boil it all down.
Here's your cheat sheet. Number 1. U1301 is about a communication failure, not necessarily an expensive broken part. 2. The fix is about being a detective, checking voltage, inspecting wires, and making sure your tools are set up right. 3, and this is a big one, this code can actually hide other communication codes. You have to solve this one first. And finally, don't be scared of these codes. They're literally your car's way of telling you exactly where it hurts. So now you're armed with all this knowledge. You're not in the dark anymore. You have a roadmap you can follow, from checking the simple stuff first to really digging into that wiring harness. So the real question is, what's your first step going to be?